Hi everyone, my name is Jazz, and as you can tell from the title of this video, I have been diagnosed with breast cancer. I am doing this video to specifically raise awareness to everyone, men and women, and particularly I am doing this to raise awareness amongst Asian families. I am Indian, and initially when I found out, I told my mum and dad, and they were very upset obviously, but they were like, they didn't want anybody to know. They were, please keep it to yourself, we don't want anyone else to know, we don't need other people to know, let's just keep it within the immediate family. And I respected their decision, but I did say to them, I think it's really important that we raise awareness. I think you should talk to family and friends about it. And they were like, no. And then a few days later, my mum and dad went to a temple, and my dad bumped into his younger brother, and he ended up telling my uncle everything. And it felt like it lifted a little bit of weight off his shoulders by talking to somebody about it. And I'm really glad that they did, because from then they began to tell other family members and other friends, and my mum actually turned around to me and said, I am so shocked because we've now spoken to other people about it. Now we're actually hearing about other family members, or wider family, other friends that have had it or have known people who have had it. And they were like, if they didn't openly talk about my situation, then they would never have known about any of those other people. So I was really, really over the moon that they did tell people. Asian people do tend to keep a lot to themselves. It's family respect, family pride. But it's just so important to get that support, because someone will always be able to give you that bit of advice or that bit of guidance, or just that shoulder to cry on that you need. So I've had that. I have been overwhelmed with flowers and with very nice text messages. People have been trying to phone me, and it's been very overwhelming, but I have been so overwhelmed with the amount of love I have received from everyone I know. So thank you to each and every one of you. It just builds me up every time I think about it. So I was actually diagnosed on the 11th of August, and initially when I found out, I went into the consultation on my own, and I wanted to do that because I was so hopeful after my biopsies, my scans. I just thought, it's not true, it's not happening, I haven't got it, I'm just being paranoid or overthinking the situation. But especially with COVID and the pandemic, everybody has been talking about it, and I've just been so like, okay, my focus should be on coronavirus, not on myself. So I was just constantly thinking, I'm just worrying for no reason. So when they told me, I was obviously on my own, and I was in floods of tears. Obviously, they were giving me information about my diagnosis, and I honestly could not consume what they were telling me. So they basically said to me to go away. They gave me some booklets and some leaflets, and they said, please come back in 2 days' time with a family member or a friend or a partner or somebody, so that you can, openly talk about it, and that they can also ask questions, anything they want to ask. So they were so lovely. I cannot believe how good they were. So I went back 2 days later with my partner, and I'm so glad he went with me, because holding his hand throughout that conversation was what I needed most. So I'm really grateful to him. During that, we then got to meet my key worker at the hospital, and she's amazing. She has just been really supportive, and she's been there to pick up the phone to answer my questions after that meeting. So, the hospital has been fantastic. So just to explain a little bit more specifics around my diagnosis, I'm still getting my head around it, so there will be a lot of stuff I probably can't explain properly, but I'm still getting my head around it, so bear with me on it. So they've basically said my cancer is at its early stages. It's very, very tiny, it's microscopic. So they were really shocked that I could actually feel it, because they were like, it's so microscopic. We have to look at it under a microscope, so for you to feel it is quite strange. But this is what was really important about assessing myself, examining myself on a continuous basis, because if I didn't know what my normal was, I would never have known what my abnormal was, and that abnormal is what led me to getting myself checked out. So they've basically said that I am grade 3, no special type, and that actually means that the cells that they can see under the microscope are not like your normal breast cells. So any other tissue cells in your breasts, that would be grade 1. 2, there would be a slight abnormality, and 3 is where there is an abnormality, and that's where the diagnosis comes in, when they can see that the cells are clearly not normal. So I have ER negative, which is estrogen negative, and I have progesterone negative, and I have HER2 positive. So the 2 negatives, estrogen and progesterone, mean that I do not need to take any supplements or any other medication to suppress the natural hormones that are in my body. The HER2 positive is a protein on the cell itself which confirms that the cell is actually spreading. So my lymph node came back positive. They did biopsies of my lymph nodes, and they found that my cancer has spread to 2 of my lymph nodes under my arm. So it came as a shock, obviously, hearing all this news, and you do have to read up about it because you don't quite know what it is you've got and what you have to do. But in my situation, because there are different types of breast cancer, and this is what is really important, I did not know this. I did not know that there were different types of cancer, different types of breast cancer. So depending on the type of cancer you have got, your specialist, your oncologist will then define what your treatment should be. So when I went in to see my oncologist, he was lovely. He was so lovely. And my oncologist specialist nurse, she was very kind and sweet as well, and very helpful. So they therefore then decided that it would be chemotherapy that I have first, and then I would have breast surgery where they remove the tumour, and then I would possibly look to be having radiotherapy. But they wanted me to keep it back, so they didn't overload me with information. They basically said take 1 day at a time. So I am aware at this point in time that I'm having the standard amount of chemotherapy, which is 6 sessions, and they're going to happen every 3 weeks. So they call them cycles. So I'm going to have 6 cycles. So I'm having my first chemotherapy session today. So I am about to get ready and go to the hospital. So I better not take too long on this video because I'm going to be panicking, thinking, have I got my tablet, have I got my phone, have I got my charger, have I got my blanket, my snacks, whatever. So yeah, I've got to pack. But before that, I do just want to share that I have been given amazing information, and it's a lot of leaflets, but it's really helpful. So just to talk through what I've been reading since I found out, The Cancer Guide by Macmillan, Breast Cancer in Younger Women, Treating Primary Breast Cancer, Chemotherapy for Breast Cancer. I'm not looking forward to this one, but breast cancer and hair loss. I feel like I've got myself prepared. I've spoken to my family about it, and I feel like I'm prepared. So hopefully when I do lose all this hair that I've been growing, it will come back. Just be positive. And then also fertility and breast cancer. And that's an important one. So since my diagnosis on the 11th of August, this has been something that I've been really looking into, because I don't have children. I am 40 years of age, and it is something I have thought about, but being at the age of 40, your options are a lot less. So it's something to think about. So I am going to leave that. See, I just don't even know what I'm supposed to be saying, but I want to be able to share this journey with you, so I will do more videos. I'm heading off to the hospital shortly for my chemotherapy, my first chemotherapy session. So I'll try and do a video there if they allow me to. And yeah, please join me on my journey. I hope that I can help anybody. I hope if you have any questions, if you're going through this, or if you're supporting somebody that's going through this, then please don't hesitate to get in touch. I hope that I can be of help in some way, because the people around you, the people who love you the most, they're going to be your strength through the process. And I hope that I can help you too. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye.